Like I said, I'm a LeBron guy. Of course, he should be in the top 10, but I'm just mad at him for putting Jerry West over Michael Jordan. Kareem,
Where it boils down to me is LeBron wouldn't be on my list at any era.
Yo. Welcome to the Rocket City Network. We got the all-star panel, and today we are going to be talking about LeBron James. Yo, what's going on, everybody?
So,
Yes. So on this panel today, we have LeBron haters, and we got LeBron fans. I ain't going to call y'all fanboys. That's kind of disrespectful.
Nah.
So LeBron's been taking some heat lately in the political arena as well as the sports arena, right? And most recently, Dr. J came out and said that LeBron is not in his top 10 list. So I'm going to start off with Phil. Phil, do you agree with Dr. J?
Hey, man, 100. Hey, I completely agree with Dr. J. And I can understand his rationale as well. You know, Dr. J is one of the best ball players we've seen. I know I have, at least growing up, where I'm at today, and the era he played in, his list truly says it. You know what I'm saying? He grew up in a tough era where we seen competitive ball players go at it, and his first team, you can tell was some of the guys that he watched growing up as he came in the league, and then his second team were the guys on his way out the door he saw coming into that same era and could hold their own. So I completely agree with it.
Definitely, because on the first team he has Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Elgin Baylor. Second team is Magic, Jordan, Bird, Karl Malone, Kareem.
Correct.
I know for me at first I was kind of hot at him for not putting LeBron in there. But when I looked at the list, I was like, okay, I can see the rationale.
Yeah.
Eric, let me start off with you. Since you're a LeBron fan.
Well, no, my whole thing, I'm from the city though, so I gotta defend LeBron where I'm at, wherever I'm at. But
you from Cleveland? Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland. But at the same time, like I try to take my bias aside of you. I don't just talk about him anytime we have a conversation. But at the same time, like when you start to say 10 names out of the NBA, you have to. I mean, I understand everybody he just threw in there, like even down to Elgin Baylor, like they've done some historical stuff with rings and with statistics. You know what I mean? So I understand that. When we started talking about how tough the air was, though, how tough was the air for Wilt Chamberlain?
Hey, Eric, we gonna dive into that.
Okay. Well, okay, so look, okay. No, because this is my whole thing. I think it should be conversations about airs at the end of the day, and most people are gonna hide their air. Most people are gonna hide their air to high regard. What they was watching growing up, or what they see currently, like they're gonna hold that in high regard. So I understand why they would be picking people that they personally would like. I love like Hakeem Olajuwon, like his game of what I've seen, but I wasn't really watching it completely because I was a lot younger, and I respect it, but I would still have him in a conversation for a lot of these conversations. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's Shaq. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But LeBron, when you start talking about 10, LeBron has to be in the top 10 of any discussion in basketball. I guess that's kind of like leaving Moses out of the Bible or something. Like if you think Jordan is Jesus, like you left Moses out. So I don't know, man.
Gotcha. BJ, what do you think, man?
So I can kind of sympathize with what these guys are saying as far as you can't argue with anybody he has on his list. They're all time greats, and he's putting on for his era. I could say that. Now, with that out the way, this man had Michael Jordan on the second team.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Let's start there.
Come on.
He had Karl Malone in the top 10.
That's
You know what I'm
tough.
saying? Like,
That's tough.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's tough.
Bird, you know what I'm saying? Magic, Oscar, you know what I'm saying? I can't argue with it, but then it kind of his credibility is shot with some of his other, additions to the list. And so yeah, like I said, I'm a LeBron guy. Of course, he should be in the top 10, but I'm just mad at him for putting Jerry West over Michael Jordan. Kareem, you know what I'm saying? Kareem on the second team. How you got Kareem on your second team?
Hey, we gonna talk about that, BJ. Let me get LaMarcus in here real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say it like this, right? It's his list, okay? His list is his list, right? And so I don't think it's a snub because this is a lot of people don't realize this, man. You tend to go to more so of your era of players that came before you and your peers, and really the players that come after you, you really don't pay them much attention, right? So my thing is this, yeah, because I mean, think about it. My era when I started watching basketball, it was all about Jordan, and then you had the 96 draft class, so all those players would kind of somewhat be in my list, and then the players that's coming up now. But I mean, for him to, I mean, that's his list. So I mean, I understand it, but I mean, bro, LeBron is definitely in my top 10. I mean, if you when it's all said and done, and you look at the categories, he's gonna have the numbers. So, but my thing is, it's his list, so I can't really get upset with him.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start off with Phil. Phil, go let it. Hey, what's popping?
so no, you all made some great points. I'm a diehard Michael Jordan fan, BJ. So I completely empathize with the way you articulated that message. And Marcus, I get it as well. With it's his list, right? Mm-hmm. And so regardless of how he structure his list, it is what it is. And Eric, your point of the different eras, I think that I think you make a great point. However, it ties back to Marcus' piece when he said, it's that man's list, right? So you asking me, the best player in the world, MJ is number one on anybody's list that you put out there, right? And then I think you got to look at the fact that it was just the starting 5 guys. Eric, it's okay for LeBron to come off the bench, brother, with this team. so I if you're looking at 5 players can be on the court, do you put Shaq over Wilt? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, but I mean Shaq was dominant, right? So at the end of the day, where it boils down to me is LeBron wouldn't be on my list at any era is because I truly believe in that last statement that Dr. J put out there, because LeBron has to have other greatness with him, right? So I don't.
Let's get to that.
Hold on. My point, my piece is this: LeBron is not competitive enough for me, and so in the era that we grew up watching, when we watched the Pistons and the Bulls, or the Knicks and the Bulls, or the Lakers and the Celtics. That's competition at its finest. Right? And we went in at it where we left the game, went outside in the backyard, and we emulated that same thing we just saw. But you look at the LeBron era today, man, ain't nothing competitive about him. He has to go out and he has to seek other greatness, and he has to have that group. It's almost like, you can't stand on your own when you're moving. You got to have a group of people with you when you're rolling. Mm-hmm. That's LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's LeBron to me. So,
Can I please?
Hey, Mike.
Can I go first? Oh,
hey,
Mike,
Mike into it.
What's up, Mike?
Let go.
Yeah. Hey, so Mike, do you agree with Dr. J's list?
I agree with Dr. J's list because, man, I mean, we reached a weird era where people just can't have their own opinion.
Yeah.
All right, man. Dr. J didn't have LeBron in this thing. That's cool. When you look at his list, his top 5 is people that he actually played against, his contemporaries, and then the next 5 are people that he respected for a certain point. That 80s 90s ball was hard. It probably reminded him of his type of game. So I mean, for him to come in and be like, all right, my first 5 is the people that I played against. My next 5 is basically the era after me, the people that I played against in my later years that was whooping his butt.
Yeah.
So when we come in and it's like, all right, man, well, you can't have an opinion because you don't got LeBron on your thing. That's crazy. Then he comes back, and as a grown man, I have to explain why I left somebody else off my thing. Nah, this is how I feel. This is the people that I played against. This is the reason why. Because I mean, you have clips of Dr. J playing against Jordan, Magic, Bird. So it's like, all right. I personally took the court with these people. I haven't personally taken the court with LeBron. And then he comes back and he does when you have to explain, it's basically like, all right, man, I feel some way. Then now let me find a reason why I feel that way. I mean, his criticisms of his reasons for why he left LeBron off aren't new reasons. Like they're reasons that people have floated around for forever. If I actually pointed at Dr. J's career, and it's like, all right, man, when you won, this is the greatness that you had around you. Who's out here doing it by themselves? And even the people that are out there doing it by themselves.
Hold on, Mike. That's my piece. That's my piece right there.
Okay, well, scratch that one off. But my thing is, if you're somebody that's actually doing it by yourself, even while you're doing it, you're thinking, hey, man, I need help. Because while you're doing it by yourself, these other people are going out and popping the same bottles that you popping because they won too. So it's like, hey, man, hey, and you had 50, but we winners. So it's like, all right, I'm doing it by myself. Everybody is getting, like, the whole organization is getting credit for what I'm doing. Name somebody that did it by themselves and won. That banner don't have their name on it. It has whoever else. They say Dirk did it by himself. Yeah. That banner that he got don't got Dirk Nowitzki on it. It got Dallas Mavericks on it. Why I got to do it by myself? We a whole organization. That does not make any sense. So he felt some way. Then he came back and tried to clean it up for the people that actually need a reason. But as grown men, if I give you my opinion, I don't need a reason behind that unless it's something that's diminishing you. It's not. You ask me my list, I give you an answer. Then other people come back and say, hey, man, well, you were wrong because of that. That's cool. What's your list? And then when I look at your list, I'm not going to like your list either. There is no list that's like, all right, man, this list is perfect.
Yes.
That is, looking at it, that was all I had to think about. Like, all right, it don't make no sense. And then for him, he like 70 or something, had to come back and explain, hey, get out of here. All right, cool.
Hey, LeBron fans.
Yeah,
I'm going to give, hey, BJ and Eric, y'all got the floor. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first thing I was gonna say is Mike was getting into it, but no real superstars or Hall of Famers are winning championships.
Going on mute.
And then it got the Pistons where you might not have like a lot. I mean, maybe Chauncey get in and maybe Ben get in, but other than that, like no other Hall of Famers. But the rest of these teams and the rest of these amazing players that we're talking about, Kareem had Oscar Robinson, and then Kareem went to the Lakers, and we know what happened over there. You know what I mean? We always talk about the '90s era with Jordan and Jordan. Where did Dennis Rodman come from? Since we don't want to talk about people like, huh?
No,
hey, go ahead, Phil.
Hold on, Sean.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
You can't say that. So look, guys.
Okay.
Jordan.
Okay.
Think about it. Jordan won his championship before Dennis Rodman. Okay, so before Dennis Rodman, he gave you 3 nuggets. He gave you 3 of them with the team that they grew together, they built chemistry, and they won championships. And guess what? If you take the first 3 years, name how many Hall of Famers on that team. You got 2.
1.
You got Jordan and Pippen. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. So my thing is, when you talk about they can't do it by themselves, I agree, but I'm just not a fan when you go out and you seek another Hall of Famer.
Shout out to Phil Jackson.
Well, Phil, let me ask you this.
Shout out Phil Jackson.
Hey.
So when LeBron was in Cleveland the first time, what Hall of Famer he played with?
I don't think he did, but he didn't win in Cleveland.
Exactly.
But okay.
So I guess what I'm saying, Phil, if let's say Scottie Pippen get drafted to the Knicks, do Jordan win them rings?
There's no what if. We can't go with what if. We can't go with what if. Let's stick strictly to what
So
happened.
what?
So for
what
7
happened?
years,
So what happened
for
before? Oh, so what?
7 years,
So what happened? What happened before Pippen got there? Then
it was
that
Lebron
is
only
was
what
about
happened.
to
What
it was
happened
come over
before
only
Pippen
well,
got
it was
there?
only a year or two, right?
Yeah, about 2 years, 3
Okay,
years.
so think about it. With Cleveland, 7 years LeBron gave Cleveland, right? 6 or 7 years. The first
Yeah,
time,
Yeah.
right?
seven.
This is me. I feel like that team was capable of winning a championship.
Why?
Right? Because they went to the championship.
They
What?
played the Spurs though, bro.
Yeah, but my point is that you showed a young kid that came in with the energy he had, and he took that team to that level. Why would you break it up to go solicit the play? You supposed to win. If Jordan go get Magic and Bird, he's gonna win every freaking championship.
He didn't
They
get Magic
gave
and
him
Bird
Pippen
though.
though.
But
Man, he
You
went
ain't
and got
talking.
two more.
They
He went
gave
and got
him.
2 more All-Stars.
but
He
he was
went
blessed
a
to
Hall
have
of
They
Famers, future Hall of Famers.
But Phil, he was
okay.
blessed
So
to get Pippen on the team, man.
that's what we're talking
So
about
we
at that
can't you
point.
can't
Like
say
I think
Marcus,
that's the biggest point right there. Like if you're not blessed with something, am I supposed to suffer the consequences of being drafted to a bad organization that's not putting anything around me to help me win a championship? LeBron did get that team to a championship. But guess what that team was when LeBron wasn't there? Even if you was to put another good team, a good player on that team, they weren't anything. We had Mo Williams and the Jonas Ilgauskas was all stars on that team, bro.
yeah, Goskins. You
Yeah,
had
what
good.
about Ilgauskas?
I'm saying you had some All-Star. I'm just saying you had some All-Star. I think you had
But listen,
I think you had
but listen to what
he
this
had some
thing is
all-star
too.
reserves.
But check me out what this part is too though. Notice the difference between a Pippen and one time All Stars of Julius Yagowski, one time All Star Mo Williams.
he was poor,
Not to
man.
mention a Phil Jackson opposed to
Oh,
Mike Brown
Hey, Eric,
or
That's what
Eric,
I'm at right
whoever
there.
Eric.
else.
Hey,
Eric,
hey,
Come on.
hey, Eric, real
We
quick.
have this too much. What's going on?
I think what Phil is trying to say is LeBron, he had an opportunity to win because they did take out the Boston Celtics.
yeah.
So, but to be honest, I don't think they're winning during that era because you had the Spurs that were tough, and you had the Lakers were kind of iffy and whatnot. But it was gonna be tough for them to win that first 7 years.
But do y'all remember what LeBron had to do to win that series? Even the
Everything.
Pistons series before that.
See, and it's almost like you
He
eliminate
by himself.
competition, man. It's almost like you eliminating the art of competing. I don't want to play with you if you beat me. I want to beat you. And I think in order to be one of the greatest, you got to go for that type of caliber of team, man. Like how, think about it. If we was all high school All-Americans, it don't make sense. We played on different teams and then we go out there and we beat up on everybody. We supposed to beat everybody. When he went to Miami and built that squad, he was supposed to win. There's no doubt. When KD went over to Golden State, everybody know they was gonna win. Like there's no competition.
Let me hop in here real quick.
Go ahead,
Okay.
BJ.
We were just talking before we got on here. We talking about back in the day playing pickleball, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the gym with your boys, are you trying to have some parity on your team, or you trying to get squad? You trying to squad up and run the gym? What you trying to do?
I'm signing that list, brother.
I'm trying to
You
win,
did. You
bro.
did.
Yeah.
You're not trying to.
Hey, look, I'm looking for Mike's name. I'm looking for Lamarcus' name.
Yeah.
You
So you make a great point, BJ.
Then that's kind of the. And once you 8 years in the league, you run, you that dude, but your team is trash. You're like, man, come on. You feel me?
But BJ, think about it, BJ. Look, the difference between that is that when me and you in the gym, BJ, we trying to stay on the floor because we don't get to play every day all day. So
LeBron try to stay on the floor.
So LeBron getting paid millions to do this job for the rest of his life. So to me, it's different. So yeah, me and you gonna partner because I know you're All-American. I know you can do your thing, and we got great chemistry. That's true. But now if Deshaun is beating the heck out of us every time we step in the gym, I'm not partnering with Sean. I'm not. And Sean, tell you, I'm coming to beat Sean because our day is gonna depend on us dethroning Sean. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, LeBron wasn't really having problems with Wade and Bosh. Those weren't his problems. He didn't team up with people that was beating up on him. He teamed up with people that was actually his man. to be like, hey, let's go get those dudes that are beating up on me. And the issue is, well, I think what really pushed LeBron out of Cleveland was that y'all are highlighting my failures. But when I succeed, y'all are being like, all right, well, you did do this. And then with social media taking over, you can't run from that. So now I get with people that I'm actually cool with, we going out for the summer and all that, and I start winning, and y'all want to knock that down as well. You put people in a position where they can't succeed, and you're telling him that he can't go out and look for help. It's not like he went out and looked for help from his enemies. Those were actually his people. This not what you're describing is KD's situation. KD was like, all right, man.
Oh, he's
and then I came back.
Yeah,
All right, that KD's situation is different. LeBron
remember being up 3-1 and Steph Curry still in that ball in the lane, because at the end of the day, like, that was 3 straight losses.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, now KD did something different. What KD and LeBron did were not the same. All right, LeBron built a super team. That's all right. And people are making it seem like that was the first one, like that Boston Celtics team didn't come and beat up.
Didn't exist. Yeah. Why am I on here? Mike in my head. Why am I here?
So a lot of people y'all. It's like people are disregarding a lot of things to diminish LeBron. It's like, all right, man, nah. Nowadays, man, if my son was in that situation, hey, man, you didn't lost 7 straight years, man. You didn't put your blood and sweat into this. You working hard. You're about 3 times better than the other people in your squad. They're getting all-stars. They're all-stars off your back. Because when you leave, they're not all-stars no more. So they're all-stars off your back.
Never.
7 years.
Never.
How long do you think logically that you have at this level of play? Is it 10? Then you need to leave. Is it 12? You need to leave. You've given them 7 years. How much do you owe to a city?
Well, not only that, they'll trade you in a heartbeat too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the business part, but in his heart, he wanted one.
To be real, as soon as LeBron left, you saw that letter Dan Gilbert sent to that man, like that heartfelt letter to that. He sent to that dude, telling him how he really felt about him, dog. They didn't really care about him. They didn't care about him winning no championship. Why am I going to stay in Cleveland? I'm from Cleveland. Why am I going to stay in Cleveland when you're not trying? They trying to get this man Antoine Jameson, Shaquille O'Neal in his 13th, 15th season.
Yeah, they was trying to
remember these things, bro.
So Eric, why you go back, Eric? Eric, why you go back?
For Cleveland.
I said, why did he go back to Cleveland?
For Cleveland.
He definitely loved that city.
For Cleveland. He came back for Cleveland, dog. He came back for Cleveland. I mean, he came back for Cleveland. And that's the only reason
he came back.
And I was about to actually won, so I can't really, like, that's why I defend him, because we don't have no championships, bro. We don't have no championship.
But he came back with the same concoction, right? He came back and he did the same thing he did to get the first one, right?
He
went out.
Kevin Love.
He went out and he solicited for other superstars.
Hey, bro, but look, check this out.
Hold on. He went out and he got Kevin Love. He couldn't play the season unless I got another power forward that could score. Kevin Love. I can't play the season unless I go get this guy.
I like this.
And then we get to LA and we cannot win a championship. Better yet, you know, one thing that I've learned about LeBron, man, is that like this fabricated ankle sprain he just had, right? That lasted like 3 months, right? And he comes out publicly and he says that, you know, he's not about this resting your body and things. But dude, you faked the injury and you sat out for 3 months, right? So the first year you get to LA, you pretend like you got an injury that took you out the rest of the season. Once you knew that you could not make the playoff, okay? Now you say
it was at the top of the West, though.
In the middle of the season,
it was fourth.
In the middle of the season, though, you go out and you make a public statement. I would love to win a championship with Anthony Davis. And then all of a sudden, you know, when he speaks, he gets what he wants, right? So now you get Anthony Davis, he win the championship. Oh, they got the best team in the league. Look how many people he solicited for.
Let me touch that real quick before y'all move on. Hold on real quick. LeBron is not the first superstar to solicit help from other superstars.
Publicly, he is.
We got social media now. Everything's public.
That's a fact.
Social media.
Hey, we didn't know Leonard was taking George.
Oh no, we did.
Leonard don't talk though.
We did.
Yeah, we did know Leonard was courting Paul George. We did
He
know.
said he was going to LA. He already had his mind made up. He was going to LA.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to jump that in, man. That's all I want.
Yeah. Marcus, what you think, Marcus?
Marcus.
Man, look, man. Y'all gonna get off my boy, man. Because I mean, I'm be honest with you, man. It's some Jordan fans out there right now, man. If LeBron would have came in the league and won 6 straight, y'all still be saying Jordan was better. So you can't talk no further, man.
So look, guys, I gotta ask y'all though, hands down,
because
you really believe Bron is better than Jordan? We all watch both eras. We've all watched both eras.
And that's the thing. That was the beginning of the conversation.
I got dragged for it.
That was the beginning of the conversation. Everybody has on ears of what they watch, so you're never gonna take off of that. It's kids right now that's growing up that are never gonna say Jordan was better than LeBron because they watched it their whole lives. So it's gonna be hard for you to have your air and then I have a different opinion on it. My thing is this, you keep saying that this whole thing. You kept saying you just said a while ago that, oh man, Jordan already had 3 rings before Rodman and still recruited Rodman.
No, he did not. No, he didn't. He didn't. Wait, look, no. We don't recruit. We don't look.
He didn't recruit.
I'm a Bulls fan to this day,
did
right?
He get on the team?
Yeah, but Jordan didn't recruit him. They came to Jordan and asked, "Hey, what do you and Pippen think about Rodman?"
And what did Jordan say? What did Mike say? Mike, tell me what Jordan said.
Jordan was like, "It's cool. I mean, I don't got no problem with it."
Either way it goes, we winning. We winning with or without Rodman.
That speaks to the organization.
Well, he didn't say that, but he was saying
no, because it was a Brooks
organization.
BJ.
And that's what I'm saying too. How many times have the Cleveland Cavaliers came to LeBron and said, "Hey, we got whatever's all-star to come to the team right now. Is it cool to come?"
I'm doing it.
Well, tell me this: how many times you heard
an
all-star?
Happened.
Hey, look, man.
That was after 3 championships. They came to him and asked him for Rodman.
So let me ask you this: so when Jordan retired the first time, did the Bulls make the playoffs?
Yes.
When LeBron left Cleveland the first time,
we actually lost the next year. We actually lost the next year in the Eastern Final that we should have won.
So y'all had a good team, right?
We built that team.
Yeah,
we grew as a team.
What did Cleveland build?
Hey, Cleveland
a lottery team.
Chemistry.
Hey, LaMarcus just brought up a great point. I want y'all to let that marinate real quick.
Okay.
A lottery team.
That right there amplified how good Phil Jackson, Jerry Krause, the whole Bulls management built that team.
But
now, if LeBron was in that situation, ain't no way in hell he's leaving. He would have been in Cleveland his whole career.
But BJ, you know
that wouldn't happen.
BJ, you know the whole time, right? The management and the coaches and players did not see eye to eye. It wasn't a great relationship between the management and the team and coach. So what what I'm trying to say to you is that it's just like us 6 years on there now. If we go out and we play ball together from middle school to high school, we're gonna have a certain level of chemistry. Regardless, on our worst day, we still may win some games because we are so accustomed to playing with each other. My thing is that the Bulls took what they got drafted and they built the chemistry, kept the team together structurally, and they won championship. In Cleveland, LeBron had that same thing. Had that same thing. For a matter of fact, in less than 3 to 4 years, he in the championship, right? So my thing is that, but what I'm saying is that you never once saw people saying, "I'm gonna come to Cleveland to play with him."
Whoa. Nobody wants to be in Cleveland. Well, first off, nobody wants to be in Cleveland.
No disrespect to my mans either, man.
No. However you want to have it. Nobody wants to be in Cleveland.
Eric, you gonna let him say that, Eric?
Where you from? He from Mississippi or something? Or he Army band? I know his folks.
Yeah, but I'm saying
don't do that.
It's like if I'm thinking of a place
And
where I
we
want
get
to
a
go
lot of
play
football
at.
players coming to Cleveland right now. Don't do that, Mike.
Oh,
Okay,
Mike.
all right.
Football players
Eric,
Eric,
don't say that, Eric, because the Cleveland football team is like the Cleveland football team is like the old Clippers. Y'all had every number one player in the league at one time. So
who you root for,
what I'm
bro?
saying
Who you
is,
root for, bro?
I'm a Cowboy.
Oh my Jesus.
Hey, we'll have the discussion later on. Hey, save it for later. Hey, go ahead, Mike. Mike, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
What I'm saying is, if I'm a free agent and I can go anywhere,
I've been doing
Cleveland's
push-ups
not
this
on
guy.
that list. I'm not trying to come to Cleveland. It's not happening. Hey man, hey, where y'all want to go? You want to go to Cleveland? You want to go to Dallas? Or you want to go to Miami?
No, if you're talking about that though, that's a fact, bro. Like stars are not trying to go. That's why I want all the real stars to get out of like Portland. You get out of Milwaukee, and you go and get with another superstar, or the superstar comes to you. No, Kevin Love wouldn't have came to Cleveland if LeBron wasn't there. Like that's what it is. And if you're upset about that point, huh?
If LeBron hadn't forced him, he forced Minnesota organization to trade him to Cleveland, right?
Okay, so this the whole thing. If Kevin Love wouldn't have came, he would have just been stuck in Minnesota, another trash organization, and wasted his career. What are we talking about?
Man, but
That's another thing too. Like I never understand when we started. Like you want another superstar player that you just like, just watch play basketball. To be around four other players is horrible, and just see him score all the points, just to see him lose in the playoffs early or late. To do what? Like, why is his career ever going to be fulfilled at that point, man? How come that man can't win a ring? And I'm not even talking about LeBron. I'm just talking about the stars in general. We don't have everybody's not a good basketball organization that's going to build around a superstar enough for them to win a championship. Everybody don't have Phil Jackson. Everybody's not the Spurs. Like, it's 32 teams, and everybody can't be five of them.
So, look, fellas.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, look, fellas, when you at the end of the day, it's like, I did 20 plus years in the military. I retired, right? So when you do your whole entire career into a sport, right? In basketball, at the end of the day, your glory is the Hall of Fame, right? And so when Jordan retired, did the Bulls go in the Hall of Fame, or did Jordan go in the Hall of Fame? When Charles Barkley retired, did Charles Barkley go in the Hall of Fame, or did the 76ers go in the Hall of Fame? When Karl Malone retired, did he go in the Hall of Fame, or did the Jazz go in the Hall of Fame? So my point is to you, and that's where it comes back to me with the competitive piece. If you are a competitive person, right? You go out and you compete at the highest level, you'll be rewarded at the end. It really, at the end of the day, if you're seeking championships, you're supposed to win if you put 5 All-Stars together, 5 Hall of Famers together. But this is
okay. And not to cut you off, but not to even cut you off, the last person name you just said was Karl Malone. Karl Malone did most of his career in Utah, no ring, and then tried to ring chase at the end of his career.
Yeah,
like,
Charles Barkley the same too.
Yeah, but
that's literally what they do. And guess what?
He's still a Hall of Famer.
At the end of, but they Hall of Famer. And I understand that's a great accomplishment. Every player wants to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think every player wants the championship also.
So Dr. J got him in his top 10.
And money. You know what I mean?
I don't think you get no signing bonus for the Hall of Fame. I think, man.
Yes, you do.
Getting in the Hall of Fame.
You
my
said
family
signing bonus
straight
for the Hall of Fame.
So, you get a retirement check for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I mean,
in the league,
Hall of
Fame. You get a check from the league for the rest of your life.
Okay, I got
Hall of Fame is most respected.